Hi, welcome back to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel, and we're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. And now we're going to be talking with the Children's Healing Art Project. And with us is the Executive Director, Roxy McGovern. Thanks for being here, Roxy.
Thank you.
So, yesterday I had the pleasure of stopping by your place of business, your nonprofit location in Southeast Portland. And I loved it. I walked in and it was bright and it was cheery and it was just a happy, happy place. And I immediately fell in love with it. There's all this great artwork and all this creativity. So you go in there every day and just, do you go in there and create stuff too, or is it all work for you?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. Tell us about what Chap, as you call it, what the mission is of your organization and why it got started.
Yeah, so our mission is to bring the healing power of art to children in crisis and their families. We've been around since 2006, and it started out as our founder, Frank Achani, started volunteering up at Dornbecker just 5 hours a week. And really found the staff there, the child life specialist fell in love with him and all of his the joy that he brought with the art supplies and art projects. And it has grown and blossomed into going from 5 hours a week at Dornbecker to over 60 hours a week with a staff of 11 at 5 different locations at OHSU.
That's fabulous.
So we're at Dornbecker Night Cancer Institute, the Schnitzer Diabetes Center, the Pediatric Neurosurgery Clinic, and then we're starting this month at Shriners.
Oh, you are.
So
right.
in the course of just 8 years, we went from just 5 hours a week to over 60. And last year, we provided over 8,500 healing art experiences to children in crisis and their families.
That's pretty impressive, pretty impressive. I know my son used to spend a lot of time at Dornbecker, and the child life therapists were wonderful, and he loved it when they come in and they do art projects. It really is a healing thing for kids to be able to be creative and express themselves, especially when they're stuck in a hospital. What kinds, now are these, the people that are going out there, are these artists, are they volunteers? Who are the people that are going to the hospital?
So we have a staff of 11 paid teachers. All of the teachers that go up to the hospitals are trained, have degrees in art, ranging from architecture to costume design to painting, just about everything. And then, we couldn't provide as many healing art experiences without our core volunteers. So most of our volunteers put in each month around 150 to 400 hours a month. So there's no way that we could provide as many healing art experiences as we do without our volunteers.
So the volunteers, they go along and bring the supplies, or they actually do artwork with the kids sometimes?
Both,
or what?
yeah. So the volunteers that we have that work down in our studio in Southeast prepare the art supplies for the hospitals. And then we have volunteers that actually work up at the hospitals with the kids as well. So we're so grateful to our volunteers because there's no way we could do what we do without them. Yeah.
So what ages of kids do you work with?
Everything from 1 to 19.
Really?
A lot of the times at Night Cancer Institute, we work with adults who are getting treatment there who have children. So we also work with the whole family. It's not just the child.
Okay.
Because a childhood illness affects everybody in the family.
So you have kind of a holistic approach to the whole thing. Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. Yeah, so it's siblings.
Siblings, grandparents, aunts, uncles.
Nice. Yeah, I like that.
Anybody who's allowed to come to the hospitals with the kids and visit them. There's something about art making that turns nervous energy into creative energy.
It's hard for people when they come visit someone at the hospital too, because people a lot of times don't know what to say. They feel awkward. It's like, okay, should I bring, I'll bring them a present and that'll be fine. But it is awkward. So if you have something to do and creatively, do something together, that's a wonderful thing to do. So tell me about, are there any, tell me about some of the kids. Give me an example of a child that you've worked with at a hospital. Like what was wrong with this child, and what kinds of things did you do, and how did it affect their life?
One of the children that we've worked with for years is Josh. He had cancer when I believe he was 4. He's been cancer-free for about 8 years, about 4 years now. And a lot of the projects we do that are the most popular are working with clay.
Oh,
So they get to create puppets and sculptures in the hospital with clay. He created a superhero called the Wonder.
The Wonder?
Yes, and the Wonder, when he had cancer, it attacked his esophagus, so he actually has he had a tracheotomy and has breathed through a tube. And
does he speak through have to speak through like people that have,
No, he breathes.
It's just the breathing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he created a superhero. A lot of times we would, we're not art therapists, but we believe in the healing power of art. And we did a project in the hospital where the kids got to create their own superheroes. And Josh created the Wonder. And I thought it was amazing that he created a superhero based on himself.
Oh, really?
And when he was in the hospital getting his treatment, he doesn't remember a lot of his treatment. And so his superhero is based on that the superhero blows tornadoes out of its throat. And it makes the bad guys forget that they're bad, and it makes the good guys forget the bad stuff that happens to them.
Oh, that's great.
It's a great drawing with the superhero with a cape, and it's got these tornadoes just blowing out of his throat, out of the trach.
That's very creative. That's good.
And Josh works with us still. I mean, we've been working with him for many, many years, and his whole family comes in and
so you get better. You don't kick him out, huh?
No way. Even after families have lost children, we continue to work with their families.
Oh, okay, because that would be a good thing, because they've formed that bond with you too, and that would be very therapeutic. Imagine
Absolutely.
to go back and be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate to that. What you said you also have people come to the studio though too, not just, you don't just go to the hospital. How does that work?
So our art club is an extension of our hospital programs.
Okay.
And that started because we were working with kids in the hospital, and then when they left, with art programs being cut in schools, they didn't have access the way they used to.
And they still wanted to.
And they still wanted to. So we started Art Club outside of the hospitals for kids who are living with a critical or chronic illness or disability to come down and continue that healing art experience. And we have, every Monday we have open studio where children who are in our art club can come in and have a free-for-all art making. And then we also do 3 art clubs per month on Saturdays. And we partner with the Down Syndrome Network Oregon, and we have an art club for them. And any child who has Down syndrome or is on the autism spectrum.
Okay.
Our original art club is for any child who has a critical or chronic illness or disability.
Okay.
And then we just started last month a teen art club for the kids who want more sophisticated projects.
Okay, so they're not just using crayons there.
Yeah, so they're we're doing a lot of printmaking and silk screening and things like that.
I think that would go really well. Yeah.
It's
Do you have very many teenagers?
It's growing.
Yeah.
A lot of the kids like Josh that we've been working with for years are teenagers now,
growing
and they've
up,
been doing the same projects for a number of years, and are looking for something a little more sophisticated and challenging.
Yeah, they're maturing. They want to explore something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, they express a different part of themselves too
Absolutely.
as they change and grow. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
What's the hardest part of doing this? Is it hard working with the kids, or is it? I mean, I would think that would be difficult, especially if you lose one. You know.
It is, and it happens. I mean, we're working with critically ill children, so. It's difficult when the hospital teachers have been working with a child who passes, and it happens frequently. Yeah. But what we do is we focus on the joy. We have to focus on the joy. That's why we're there.
Yeah.
And we remember those joyful moments where children are sitting around the table. Some of them are, may not have arms, or another one may have cancer. Another one may have autism, and it's one of those. We're a totally inclusive program, and another child sitting next to him might be the sibling of a sister of a boy who has passed. Wow. So it's really beautiful to see these communities come together of children, and the conversations that happen, and we provide a place where kids can be kids, not sick kids.
Right.
And that's the piece that we focus on.
Yeah, that's good.
Bringing the joy.
You mentioned something that reminded me that you brought a little DVD or a little video of your children's healing art project. So I think we should take a look at that, and after we're done, maybe you can kind of tell me a little bit more about what we saw. So
Sure.
let's take a look at that now.
I like the art, and I just like being myself and knowing that people actually don't really care, that they're just there to have fun and express themselves through art.
And it's also really cool.
Yeah.
It is?
I paint.
What's cool about painting?
Well, it's cool because you don't have to clean up the mess that you painted. Right.
Our mission is to bring the healing power of art to children and families in crisis through a mobile team of teaching artists. We partner with Dornbecker Children's Hospital, Knight Cancer Institute, the Schnitzer Diabetes Center, and the Pediatric Neurosurgery Clinic at OHSU.
That on days when a patient is having an okay kind of day, that, you know, you could smile and laugh and just have some companionship, maybe make a new friend at the hospital. So that can be like a real positive side, and kind of like that art can be an icebreaker like that.
I think it's important because then all the kids can express their own feelings and enjoy happiness, sadness, madness, just sculpting what they feel like. So I feel like it's a really good opportunity to just let their emotions out.
And I think Chap is really unique in that way, that we don't only work with the children in the hospitals, that we actually continue to cultivate those relationships outside of the hospitals through our art club.
It's this magical thing that they have. I think it just gives them the tools and the power to tap into that.
I think it's important because I know how it's helped me before. So it's obviously going to help other kids.
There's a level of comfort that they have here because whatever it is that they have or they're dealing with or whatever, everybody is in this space.
And it's really beautiful place. I like this place. It's so fun. It's the best place in the world.
Pretty cool kids you got there. Pretty cool kids. So that was touching, and it was inspiring. What do the kids do with all their artwork? Do they leave it there? Do they take it home to their parents? Do they give it away? What do you do with all the things they create?
A lot of it we keep, but most of it goes home with them.
Yeah.
Carl at the end there, who says it's the best place in the world, his bedroom is covered from floor to ceiling with his paintings. He's one of the most prolific artists I've ever met.
You're just cranking them out, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
When I was there yesterday at your place, the rugs were pieces of were works of art. So tell me about the rugs. What was up with that?
Yeah. Everything in our studio is covered with kids' art, including the floors and the rugs.
They were painted on.
And we had several years ago many rugs made in Nepal that were designed by the kids that we work with.
Oh, cool.
So and all of those are available for sale in our auctions that we have every year at the end of the year.
So you do have, okay, so some of them do get sold.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering about. So you do have some fundraisers throughout the year. When do you have one at a certain time of year?
We do a lot of community events throughout the year,
Okay.
and small third-party fundraisers. We get a lot of phone calls saying, "Hey, I've heard about you. I'd love to do a little event for you and raise funds for you." And it's really amazing to have the community support.
Great.
We do have one big fundraiser in usually November every year called Chaplandia, of course.
I like that.
And it's a gala with a silent auction, live auction dinner.
Okay.
But the thing that sets this event apart from other galas is that it represents Chap in that it's full of color and joy and glitter and
Oh, it sounds
art
fun.
everywhere.
It
So
sounds fun.
we actually ask our guests to ditch the little black dress and the suit and dress with joy and color.
Oh,
and we have
how fun.
opportunities for them to come in before the event and decorate their costumes, if you want to call it costumes, or outfits. We have board members who come wearing paint splattered suits by the kids that we work with.
I'd like to see some pictures of that.
Yeah,
Actually, I'd like to go to that. That
it's
sounds
a lot
like
of fun.
It sounds fun.
Yeah.
You have a some kind of a vehicle or something that goes out to events. What was? I just saw a little bit about that. I didn't finish reading that.
Yeah, so we have a couple art cars, and we take them to events where kids can paint the car. And it's actually a car that we drive that the kids paint on
It's a real car?
and over and over. Oh, yes.
Oh.
Yeah. We have a van and a car that we take to different events. We partner with other community organizations like Northwest Sarcoma Foundation and United Cerebral Palsy, and we have a partnership with Cascade AIDS Project coming up this summer.
Oh.
And we bring our car, and basically what we do is we tape off all the windows and the license plates and the lights, and
go
roll
for
it
it.
onto a big canvas tarp, and the kids get to paint it.
That sounds like a blast. That
It's
sounds
lot
like a
of fun.
blast. Before we run out of time, I remember reading that you sometimes have summer camps. So do you have some summer camps coming up this year?
We do. So we started our summer camps last year, and they are exclusively for Art Club kids.
Okay, so kids that are already going there. Okay.
Yes, and for kids in the community. It's really, Art Club is for any child who's affected by an illness or disability.
Okay.
And so our programs are totally free to them, including summer camps.
Wow.
So, a lot of the families that we work with have financial hardships due to hospital bills.
Yes, yes.
So we want to make sure that our programs are always free to the children that we work with.
Oh, that's great.
And summer camps, typically we have just the Saturday and Monday art clubs throughout the year, but in July and August we have week-long summer camps. We'll
So
do
it's a
4
day
of
camp?
them.
Day camp.
And it's drop-off, so it actually gives the parents a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
Where they get to drop off their kids and
And
they
the
get
kids
to hang
love
out
it,
and
I'm
make art all
sure.
week.
And the kids are already familiar with us, so it's not scary like going to this
Yeah.
camp that they don't know about, and
Yeah.
they already know they feel at home there. I bet it's really good for the kids to be able to create beauty out of
It is.
a life that maybe has a lot of pain and a lot of suffering. Yeah. What before I let you go, Roxy, tell me, for you personally, what do you get the most out of working with these kids?
It's the joy. I have the best job in the world. I get to walk into that studio that everybody just saw, that you got to visit yesterday. And you can't walk out of there without glitter on your face or, somewhere.
Yeah.
And walking in and being surrounded by artwork done by children is pretty amazing. And the joy, knowing the joy that we get to bring to these children's lives and families is so rewarding.
I can imagine. I imagine every day you feel like I've done something good. I've done something good, and it's it's a beautiful thing. I like it. So if people are interested, if they have a child who would perhaps qualify to go to the art. What you call it, the art
club.
Art club. Thank you. I don't know why my mind went blank there. The art club or the summer camps. As being part of the art club, then they could go ahead and contact you. If they are interested in volunteering, you're looking for more volunteers.
Absolutely.
And if people really like this and want to donate money, I bet you'd take that too.
Oh,
right?
yes.
Yeah. Do you take donations of art supplies and things
We
like that too?
do. We have
Okay.
a lot of like offices and businesses who will do an art supply drive.
Oh, that's great.
And have all their employees
Yeah.
and customers bring in art supplies.
Wonderful.
So, yeah.
If somebody wanted the art car to come out, are you in demand all the time? Or are you?
We are.
Yeah, I bet you are. I was going to say, I bet that would be very popular.
And it's always an option. So.
The summer camps, you don't have those scheduled yet, do you?
Not yet.
So if people are interested, they go to your website, you'll update that as soon as
Yes, we will.
available?
Or they can always contact us at info@chap.name.
Okay, that's what I did to get you out here. So, wonderful. Thank you so much for being on here. It's a wonderful organization. I love it. And I'll watch for the gala in November. Where do you usually have that? Is it?
It's going to be at Left Bank Annex this year
yeah.
on November 1st.
By the, I was going to say Rose Quarter, by the Moda Center.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, great. Thanks so much for watching Community Hotline tonight. I hope you feel uplifted hearing about the Children's Healing Art Project. They're a great organization, very colorful, very fun, and they're doing wonderful things for kids. So if you're interested in supporting the organizations that we talk with, please go to their websites and find out how you can become involved. Thanks for watching Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel. We'll see you next week.